welcome to another episode of Potato Town. Last episode we got some stuff finished. In this episode we're hoping to get a lot more finished because this is actually going to be our last episode. So to start things off, we're actually going to start a brand new project without finishing any of the old projects, and we're going to do a Drip Leaf Spleef game. So we're going to get right into building that right now. So the idea with Spleef is you have a 40 by 40 area and the floor eventually falls away, and with these drip leaves it makes it a perfect floor for doing that. And basically we're going to put this up really high so that when you fall you're going to die, but then we're going to build a platform around it so that we can get up there, and then we're going to be able to have fun games up super high in the sky. So I'm going to get a lot of bone meal and get a lot of drip leaves, and I'll be right back. Alright, so a little bit of progress has been made, as you can see. I'm going to fly up and take a look at it. Small platform right now. I'm about halfway through 1/4 of it, so I'm about 1/8 of the way done. This project is taking up a lot of bone meal, and so I had to go use my mob farm again and farm some more bone meal up from the bone meal farm as well. And now we got a couple shulker boxes of bone blocks, and we're gonna see how far this gets us. So the quickest way I found to do this is just to put 23 pieces of bone meal in the different inventory slots and just hold down right click on them until you run out, and that way they'll go to the exact same height without you having to misclip. Because if you go one too high, there's no way to shorten it just by one. You have to break it and then bone meal it 23 more times again, which could waste a lot of bone meal if we're not careful. Alright, we are 1/4 of the way done. This is what it's looking like so far. So it's coming along, just very slow and very bone meal consumption wise. That doesn't make any sense, but you guys get the point. Takes a lot of bone meal. So it's going to be double this going that way, and it's going to be pretty large, but this is still the area I have left to do. 3/4 of the way through, I started to put this pattern down the center of this way. So we're going to continue that and finish up this last quarter. And there it is, fully complete. You can see that pattern pretty clear down the center now. So it's a nice large area to be able to run around and then create a drop behind you that will reset after a little bit. And the goal is going to be to knock the other people off, or not knock them off, but make them fall down first. And then if you're not wearing any armor or boots, well, apparently I still live. I don't know why. But normally, I think it's just because I have protection 4 on. Let me try that again. I'm gonna try to fall up here, so I'm close to the bed. There. Yeah. So, goal is to have people drop down and they'll die when they hit the ground. So all that's left to do is decorate it and make it look pretty, and then they'll be ready to play. So as you can see, we've decorated a little bit. I'll give it a good fly around in a second. But we got some glass right there, some water columns going up and down. Got some soul sand and magma. We got beds so that people can reset their spawn. We've got a little snowman so we can have snowballs to help throw into the arena and make the leaves drip. And then we're going to set up a little bit later and play with some of our friends, and it's going to be a good time. So here's a video of that right now. Welcome to Leaf Spleef. The goal of the game is to run around on top of the drip leaves. They will fall as you run over top of them, and the last person standing wins. So after you fall 23 blocks, you'll die, and then you can throw the snowballs at the leaves to make them fall. So set your spawn, dump all your gear, and then I will count us down, and then we will just run around, and you guys will get the gist of the game probably pretty quick. Ready? 1, 2, or should I start with 3, 2, 1? I'll do 3, 2, 1. You know, counting. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I died. Quick round 1. All right. You gotta do losers bracket first.
Oh. Oh, so they go against each other?
Yeah, they'll go against each other to see who's like the worst loser.
Wow.
Just
who died first in practice.
well, practice is practice, so.
Alright, ready? Play for all! Go! Everybody
Just followed you and it just fell straight in. Aha! Boxer in, Silver. Boxer in. Oh no! Oh no! Alright everyone, so that was a lot of fun. We got to play the game with everyone, and hopefully you guys had some good laughs like I did. And now we're going to get into finishing up all the projects. First of all, we're going to start off by finishing up our AFK spot, making that better, making it into a nice little airplane. So let's get into that right now. Okay, so we built the airplane. We're inside of it right now, and I'll hop out in a little second and show you guys what it looks like. But that's what it looks like, and I'll fly underneath so you guys can see it, what it looks like from down below. But yeah, so it's just a bunch of small projects like that that we got to work on. Next, we're going to help Peachy do chandelier in our bigger house. Alright, so mostly this was Peachy. She was able to finish it off. I kind of started it way up at the top, and I did some of these side lightings, but she did this one and she did all the little smaller ones. So it's mostly Peachy on these, but I helped a very tiny bit, so that's fun. Now we're going to work on covering up some of the farms with some buildings, and Peachy's going to help me with that. Okay, so this is the bone meal farm. It's all covered up now, and you guys saw a little time lapse of that. So also, we're going to work on finally moving our villagers over, and Peachy has made a place for them to stay. She made a bunch of these little houses over here. I came up with a design for the fence around the edge, but she built all but one of the houses. I think that Sky built one of the houses. And then we're going to move our villagers into there, and then we're pretty much going to be done. Oh, and Peachy also did this cool piping for the slime into the slime farm. It just falls down into the pit. Looks pretty cool, I think. Also, all the other farms have been covered up by buildings. We're gonna end up doing a little flyby tour of all the stuff that we've done this season. I think it'll look pretty cool. Alright guys, so here's our villagers finally roaming free for the rest of their lives on this server, which is, like I said, coming to an end because we're gonna switch worlds and on our realm. But they got their different workstations down here and I think over here, right there. And then I put a bell over here in the center so that they all kind of, during like the middle of the day, they all kind of gather around it and hang out in this and congregate in this middle area. But other than that, they go around about their business, just gossiping and doing whatever they do. We have a data pack on so we can silence them because they were getting really annoying when they were all in that one area. So, but yeah, so now we just have to finish D-torch spamming. So Peachy is working on that. She's covering up some of the stuff with leaves, and we're gonna add some lamp posts. I don't think that we're not going with this design for out there, but I can show you guys what we're going with right now. It's these ones. So the design, I think that me and Peachy kind of came up with together through a bunch of trial and error. So you got a granite wall, a couple of lightning rods, and then a lamp on top. And it looks pretty neat. And then also we're gonna build a park. I think Peachy's working on a garden back there through that path. And we're gonna call this all done. Oh, by the way, that's a giant stone pillar that I used to get the one achievement where you go from the top of the world to the bottom of the world. I already did this once, but I got the achievement, but I figured I would jump and just show you how high this thing actually is. Yep. Alright, here is the final product of the park. I have a nice little archway with leaves and stuff coming in. Got some path blocks leading into this little pool. Got some benches around the park. I think it looks kind of nice. And then we got a couple axolotls swimming around in there. Another archway leading out that way. And then, for a secret feature, if you hit one of the pebbles, this one, you can see right there, there's a deep slate diamond ore block that I put down in there. And you can watch a bunch of diamonds spit out. I think it's kind of fun. So that's where all the diamonds I earned this season, mining and just through the shops and whatever else. So now I gotta put these back for somebody else when they come down here. So I have that covered up by a piece of moss. And I got a little bit of redstone that just spaghettis down into sticky piston observers, and that's all my diamonds. And that is the last project, I think, for this season. So we got everything kind of cleaned up and finished. This never worked as well as I had hoped it would. Caused a lot of lag, so that's unfortunate. I'll probably go with Cub Van's kelp farm design that's kind of more passive in the future. We covered up our original mine, and Peachy connected this path up to our house. We never actually moved out of our little starter house into our actual main base. We just never got around to making the storage room or anything. We're, I think, planning on building it kind of under the center, but then never got around to it. So I can kind of show you what our whole area looks like now. So there's our main base, our starter house, the villagers, a couple farms, the factory that Peachy made, and then mob farm skyscraper with the airplane. So all this is pretty cool. Glad that we actually got to finish all these projects, but now it's time to move on to something new.
Perfect. Perfect.
Just kidding. I forgot the verse of the day. So, the final verse of the day for this series is Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of the soul and spirit, and the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. Alright. Now I hope that you guys have a good one. And thanks for watching. Bye.